What happens to America being great again? You said that getting illegals out, we will have more jobs. There's no jobs because America is literally a nightmare right now. Like literally a nightmare for everyone. Americans are unhappy. We're slaving and working damn near 50 hours a week if you have a job, just for the government to take everything from them.
So C4. Alright, Shalom. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahawah, YAHAWAHSHI'S, Hashem, Rakah, Quadash, double honors to apostles and GMS, and sincere Shalom to the brothers out here pushing this truth and sincerity. And people are even more furious, no surprise. This is always the fun part that I like to hear. And it just gets better and better, honestly. Because us on the outside, the ones that know and understand, we get to sit back and laugh at all this stuff that happens. But this is the camaraderie of what people get when they vote. No matter who it is, it doesn't matter who it is. These people just get screwed left and right. It's always hilarious just to laugh at, because we know that the timing of everything that's coinciding together, I'm talking about with prophecies, is coming closer and closer. Now you have this woman that's upset because that's all you hear mostly is women complaining about this stuff, and of course you get some into, but she's upset that she was lied to like everybody else when it comes to speeches from any other president, and now they getting actually no, they were probably end up getting the riots and all sorts of other stuff. Blonde weave shows that she's fully dedicated, or the blonde hair shows that she's fully dedicated into believing into her oppressors. It tells it all. She is nothing but a sacrifice unto them. And it's funny because she talks about what Trump says about making America great again. Well, you had to go back into the time or times when it was great. Because the times that made this place great wasn't so great for us. It was great for them, and even the rest of the lower class Edomites, it was still great for. But for us, it was never great. I'm even born during the time I'm born. I was actually born into a time when people where Jake was actually in a more comfortable mindset. We didn't have to grind as hard growing up, whereas my father and the other elders, they actually had to grind even harder because with the stuff they went through. And by the time I'm born, nothing's great. I'm like, by the time I was growing up, I started seeing certain stuff that was already collapsing with this place to begin with. Of course, I didn't understand it until coming into this truth. But when I look back on a lot of things, a lot of stuff was already starting. A lot of stuff was pretty much already coming to a breakdown. So you have to question, when was America great the first time, or just in general for that matter? So you type in, you can just type this in yourself. It says the concept of America great has been interpreted in various historical contexts. That's not including the times of now, because as you see, 1950 to 1980s are often cited as significant periods when America was considered at its greatest due to its post-World War II economic prosperity and status as a world superpower. However, it is important to note that this perception varies widely among different demographics and political ideologies, reflecting the complexities of American history and identity. Ultimately, the definition of greatness can be subjective and influenced by personal experience and historical narratives. Now, let's go into the historical narratives, because during these historical narratives, we was at our lowest. It says 1950 to 1980, but even the time when we came into slavery was basically a time of America great, even though they didn't name it America at that time. Even when the name America was established, it was not great for us. It was great for them. So this still shows you that even with her, she does not understand that the term America Great is not for us. It's great for them because they get to increase all the wickedness, increase the slavery hold on us even more, and so on and so forth. So let's move further because I asked, like I said, you could type the stuff in too. It says when America was great the first time, what was happening to black people? Now, as I mentioned, technically, the time of Esau having America great was even during our slavery. But let's go a little bit further. It says during the early years of American history, particularly after the Civil War, black people in the South faced significant challenges due to the Jim Crow laws and racial violence. The Great Migration was a response to these conditions, with black Americans seeking better opportunities a way out of the South. The movement was driven by economic opportunities, the need for labor, and the desire for freedom from racial oppression. Now, actually, I'm keep going. It says the Great Migration had a profound impact on social, economic, and cultural landscape of America, shaping the future of Black Americans and the nation as a whole. Now, when we jump back up, it said we was facing significant challenges. But it sounds like as we grew out of those challenges, now we're going back into the challenges to where it's still going to lead back to the racial thing. Mind you, racism, as people like to say, that people like to complain about, racism never goes anywhere. We are in a time where, well, before you take before the 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 virus, sure, racism was still happening then, but the horns of these devils didn't have to show it as much because he already had us the way he wanted us. Now we're going to start shifting back into that to where the horns of the devils are actually going to show again. Because guess what? He's like they want to keep this place great again, even though it's going to collapse regardless. But in their eyes, what better way to seek our control again or keep solidify the control is to keep these people as burnt out slaves working tirelessly. That's why she complained that about the no job situation. Now you're going to have more homeless, especially with the I doubt I could say the act plan that they wanted to do, but to pretty much wipe out a lot of working class and a lot of lives, I should say, as well, under a one world order, basically. So I'm gonna keep the scriptures brief. I just wanted to go into that mainly. But it says, this is Judges 10 and 14. It says, go and cry unto the gods which ye have chosen. Let them deliver you in the time of your tribulation. And that's a lot of these people. Because she basically voted for these basically a devil, like all these other presidents are just devils. And every 4 years they got to vote for another devil, another one, and this is what you chose. People go back and forth killing each other over which side, and they'll say pick the lesser evil. But if one's a greater evil and one's a lesser evil, does not make them both still evil? So if who you chose for it was the lesser evil, and he's still messing things up and lied to you about these things, is this what you deserve? The answer is yes. So go and cry to your God, your president that you have chosen. Let them deliver you. Go to them and complain about you not having the jobs. See if they give you one. They might give you janitorial. Who knows? Or they just might say, screw you. We got other people to give better qualifications to. Your jobs is going to come down to nothing, especially when they start implementing AI. They already got AI in the airports. You look at you go into McDonald's now. They got the billboard where it talks to you, and you could place your orders there. Let that be an actual walking unit. They won't have no need for to come. They won't have no need for people to come to directly to the desk no more. They could just take the orders right on the spot. So your convenience is not going to become an inconvenience. So the goods that you wish to deliver you is going to send you right down to a pit with a lot of people for you to beg and scream and cry, saying that I trusted you and all this other stuff. In reality, you was one being duped. This is Micah 2:10. It says, "Arise ye and depart," which is basically the Lord telling us, hey, you gotta, now that you lived in this life for the longest, now you gotta wake up and get away from these people's mindsets, from the philosophies of the society, so you don't get caught up like the rest of these people. It says, "For this is not your rest," and it surely ain't. Think about it. Where you go, let's go step by step as everybody has gone through. You go from being born, you go immediately into daycare, to elementary, to middle, high school, if college, if not trade school, or just straight into working the rest of your life until you inevitably retire. And even then, especially nowadays, since things are really speeding up, now you're going to have to come out of retirement because there's not enough money for you to live on. Because the value of the dollar went down, and so is your retirement. Now you got people that's old, decrepit, and that's in wheelchairs working now, coming out of retirement. This shows you that this is not your rest. If veterans can't even come home to a peaceful retirement, which a lot of them don't, some do, that goes to tell you that this ain't your rest. Because it is polluted, it shall destroy you, even with a sore destruction. So, mind you, this is the Lord telling us that following what these people believe, love, and desire is what's going to destroy you. And it will. It will, because that's what, how should I say, that is the deception of living in a society, basically. Because he even said with the sword destruction, which when you go into that word sword in the online etymology, is basically, of course, sword, as we all know, painful, grievous, sad. I think one of the words was wounding. And wounds last a good while. Though it may be short, but it will still last. But even this is going to be a long wound that these people ain't going to get over. Because every day you hear something worse and worse going on. I think another word was suffering and sick. So yeah, a lot of these people will have a suffering destruction. Because destruction can be very slow. And then you had the quick destruction. But this destruction for these people is going to be very slow. And we're seeing it right in front of our face. It's just going to get worse. So, Lord, this is a little edifying with that, Shalom.